Ladies and gentlemen, this contest is scheduled for one fall with a 90-minute time limit. This is the Raw Impact Unleashed. Please welcome to the sanctuary at this time at a combined weight of 420 pounds. They're your co-hosts for the evening, hailing from Northern California and known worldwide, it's KDouble, Black Lightning, your boy Cole, and White Thunder. They are the perfect storm. Get ready to unleash the Raw Impact.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, all around the world, it's your boy Cole and KDouble. Get ready to have some trouble. This is your explicit warning. There may be vulgar violence and language and brief nudity. We don't know, but just in case, we're covering our asses. Alrighty then, enjoy the show.
Yo, what's up, Cole? What's up? One second. We are having some issues on the radio end. Cole, talk again.
What's up, man? Can you hear me now?
I can hear you, but I'm not seeing any volume on your whatchamacallit here. Hold on. Try me again.
Yo, what's up? Can you hear me now?
Hold on one second. That's where we're at.
Difficulties when it's a live show. So what's going on, man? Am I coming through anymore? Did you unmute me?
Cole, unfortunately, I can't hear you. This is really... Try me now.
Try it now.
Oh, shit.
What's
this
up?
Is all messed up.
It's all fucked up, right? Because I can hear you fine, man. If we have to do the whole video, man, and just botch on Spreaker.com this time, we can have to do that if you want to. We can just record on your side and see what happens, record on my side and see what happens, and either we got video of it or we got, a podcast taping of it. Video didn't freeze. I'm just froze. So can you still not hear me? Firm.
Hello?
Black man down. Pimp down. Pimp in the strength.
I'm still not hearing you, brother.
You still not damn hearing me. It looks like this is Botchamania.
No, now we're good. Don't know what I did different, but now I can hear you, and we're all good. All right.
All right, well, my audience has been hearing you. Well, our audience, I should say, has been hearing you the whole time with this technical difficulty stuff. I'm gonna have to throw in a technical difficulties fucking picture on editing this shit.
Sorry about that, man. Sorry about that. I didn't realize I had switched my Skype over to the headset, so I was hearing you via the Skype, but I wasn't getting you through the speaker. So we were loud and they could hear my side. We were live and they could hear my side, but they couldn't hear you. So it just sounded kind of like I was talking to myself because I could hear you, but they couldn't. Well, guys, now you can hear Cole. So.
Well, talking to yourself is normal anyway.
Is that so?
Even when you're talking to me, I'm barely listening.
Yeah, fuck you too, Cole.
It's called selective hearing, and I select not to hear that.
Is that so? Oh, man. All right, well, what did we say we was going to open with? We said we was going to kick off this show, this WrestleMania pre-show here with a little talk about an article I read the other day involving the Divas. Well, soon to be former Divas division. The WWE may be looking to move it back to being the women's division, which they get a big round of applause from me about that. Like, I really truly appreciate that because we've only bitched about it pretty much since the inception of this show that they need to go back to the to a women's title as opposed to Divas, and they needed to get rid of the Divas division and make it the women's division again.
Hell yeah. We've been saying it for years that they needed to drop that damn ugly-ass butterfly belt.
Oh, yeah.
And I also read an article on Charlotte that was like, Charlotte wants the women's championship also to be reinstated. But she also mentioned that she's honored to be carrying the Divas championship or the women's championship.
Yeah.
So she kind of... You know, she was on the fence there with her comments, you know. Hopefully it comes through. I don't like the design that is rumored to be put out there, as it will be a smaller version of the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, only with a white feather strap behind it, which I'm pointing right now. Let's see, which way I got to point? That way. I'm pointing right now behind me. I have an Intercontinental Championship hanging up, and that has a white strip.
And that looks good,
so
but
what
I
does
don't
that
know.
mean? What does that mean for the Intercontinental Championship? Is it going to become the Intercontinental Women's Championship?
I don't know if it necessarily works that way, you know. Like, yeah, true. Like,
at the moment, Kevin Owens does have boobs.
Yes, so he would.
I mean, he probably whoop my ass if he ever, you know, listens to this and finds me somewhere at a show because I go to many. But yeah, it's like I just had to joke that out there. All jokes, Kev. All jokes, KO. Don't KO me, please.
We respect what you do in the ring, brother. We respect what you do in the ring.
but yeah, I don't like the WWE World Heavyweight Championship design anyway. Like I like how they changed the nameplate on it. That's about the only thing I like about it.
Damn.
It's just not enough gold for me, for real.
Yeah.
And don't let me get started on the tag team champion copper belt.
The big copper pennies.
Yeah, the big pennies, man. And we could actually call them something else like rubles or something because they got gladiators on there and shit.
Oh, yeah,
so
with the Spartan helmets.
I don't know exactly what currency is used back in the day with gladiators other than selling slaves for like rocks of gold or some shit. I don't know. But yeah, those titles need to be changed more than any other title. And the butterfly title. If you change all three of those titles, you would have a better product instantly.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm sorry to say it, like the time of diva being cool is kind of done. Like we've kind of moved away from the diva thing. Like outside of the music industry where you have true divas like Patti LaBelle and Aretha Franklin and people like that, Mariah Carey, you have true divas there. Really, the word as far as commercial fandom has really died out. And I think, no offense, not to say that the women that are out there giving it their all and doing their thing, from Charlotte to Alicia Fox to Brie Bella to Nikki Bella, from not to say that they're not out there trying to do their thing and doing it well. I think that they are definitely representing, but sorry, I seem to have lost our brother Cole, so I'm going to try to call him back in here right quick. Let's see if we can get ourselves a Cole on the line. But basically, now I'm back to not hearing him again.
911 emergency, how may I help you?
What was that, brother?
Hey.
There you are. That wasn't me, man. I don't know what happened there. The call just dropped on that one.
Yeah, I've noticed a few episodes. You know, not every episode where the call drops and you have to call me back right quick. But
Yeah.
you know, I'm always gonna answer. I covered it on the video version, so you ain't gotta worry about it. I thought you was just mad at me.
Yeah, man, even how you feel. All right, man. But yeah,
it's an
man,
emotional show. It's gonna be an emotional show, okay?
This is WrestleMania, man. We were there last year, man. We were there. All right.
Listen, boom, we were there, and I know a few people that played Russian soldiers for Rusev.
Mm-hmm.
Mel Kakaming was one of them. So
yeah. Oh man, but yeah.
And he's been on the show multiple times. He was on the show a few weeks back,
He holds
talking some smack like he always does.
He holds the honor of having been the person that's been on our show the most.
Yeah, definitely.
RVK is a close second.
He is the world heavyweight champion of guests on the Raw Impact Unleashed.
For sure.
Which you can find at Spreaker.com under the 4 Aces Presents banner.
Anytime, baby.
Let me go and throw out that shameless plug.
But yeah, real talk though. I just think that they could be better served not calling it a Divas division, considering we're back to kind of that time where, despite their skill in the ring, women's wrestling is not necessarily getting the respect that it deserves. Now, don't get me wrong. Not every one of the women that's in there deserve all of that respect, but for the most part, as a roster, they do.
Yes, definitely. I'm in total agreement with you. But there's also plenty of women in NXT that deserve a spot on the main roster. And it has been multiple years for multiple divas that are on the main roster. You know, minus a few. You know, you got Charlotte Paige just recently here. Becky Lynch, Sasha Banks. So they are, bringing in, they got a half and half, basically, of the divas. Unfortunately, the new divas that came up from NXT are outperforming the veteran divas on the main roster.
Yeah.
It's really a turn of events, we might say.
Yeah. And here's the one thing that I'll say this, just talking in general, we'll get to match predictions later after the break. But one of the things that I'm in general, looking forward to is the fact, or very impressed with, is the fact that there are two divas, that there is actually a Divas title match and another Divas match on the full card for WrestleMania. Yeah, one will be taking place on the pre-show, and that's fine. But it shows that we've come a long way, considering last year, guys, we only had one Divas match. It was a tag team match, and it had nothing to do with the Divas title. They were eventually fighting for the Divas title, but the match itself at WrestleMania, it had absolutely nothing to do with the Divas title, and was really my only disappointment of last year's WrestleMania, is the fact that there was not a Divas title match. Yeah,
definitely. I mean, reflecting on last year at Mania, we had Triple H versus Sting, Ultimate WWE versus WCW, we had NWO and DX all come out. Shawn Michaels made a surprise super kick. You had Bray Wyatt and The Undertaker, but the streak's still on the line, basically, even though he was 21-1 at that point. You know, he's going for stats at this point.
Yeah.
He's like, nobody in history of whatever they've done have went 22-1. Not in baseball, not in football. You know, I think maybe in football, possibly.
The Patriots during their dynasty run may have went 22-1 at one point.
Yeah, I guarantee you it wasn't the same team the whole time. They switched out players. They got free agents. They played the field for that. This is one single man.
Yeah, and it wasn't a 20-year record. You know, it wasn't a record that took 24, 25 years to do. They did it over a season and a half. Like part of the impressiveness about what the Undertaker's been doing is that he's been wrestling for over 25 years, and he's done at least 23 WrestleManias. You know, there aren't many other guys on the roster. I believe Triple H just made the announcement that this year is his 20th WrestleMania. And think about, you know, how long he's been around for.
Yeah, it's his 20th. I believe it's his 20th WrestleMania, and he has been in a championship match. Not necessarily a main event, but a championship match 9 times out of that 20.
Okay.
So that's pretty good statistics right there.
Oh yeah, that's just about half the time he's in a championship match. Or should I say, I think a better way to say it would be he's one of the main events. Because especially since, when did they go to the 4-hour format? I want to say 2011, 2012 is when they went to the 4-hour format.
Yeah, because it used to stretch anywhere from like 3 hours and 10 minutes to 3 hours and like 30 minutes.
Right.
Like you could judge it on that, because sometimes, you know, things ran a little long, so the main event match was basically your 30-minute match that finished off that, so they'd have a 3-hour show plus the main event.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I believe there's 11 matches altogether. I think including pre-show all the way to the end of the card. So I mean, they're stacking the house, and I believe in that. With 10 matches, they definitely can pull off a 4-hour show. They used to pull off 7, 8 matches in 2 hours. So, you know, there's obviously going to be a squash match going on, possibly with Ryback and
Kalisto.
Kalisto. So that's a time cruncher. I'm sure the Divas match won't last more than 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Maybe even 15 at at the longest. And that's the Total Divas versus. I forgot what they were like.
They're
Black
called.
And Blonde.
Yeah, they're called Bad and Blonde. The team of Lana, Summer Rae, Naomi, Emma, and Tamina.
Bad and Blonde, but there's only 2 blind people there. Okay.
Well, you do. Think about it. It is Bad and Blonde. Because Lana, Emma, are both, and Summer Rae are all blonde. Yeah.
I understand there's 2 blind chicks and there's 2 bad chicks.
No, there's 3.
But is it 3 bad chicks?
No, it's 3 blonde chicks. It's Lana, Summer Rae, and Emma.
Oh, Emma's part of that. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm guessing that what's her name? Lana ain't gonna see too much action.
Yeah.
Cause she ain't ring ready completely yet. But yeah, man, I think that'll be a quicker match than the Divas Championship match. I think the Divas Championship match, triple threat between Charlotte, Sasha Banks, and Becky Lynch, will last 15 to 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And then, you know, you got the ladder match, which is going to last about 15, 20 minutes on that.
They may
it's
even
a
get
good way
about
to
a half hour out of that.
Yeah, you can fill up the 4-hour card. Even if you run over a little bit, who cares? You're still on the WWE network. Yeah. And what's it going to cost you on the pay-per-view to stay open another 10 minutes or so?
You know what I have been noticing is that they've actually been cutting a lot of pay-per-views short. If you've noticed, a lot of the pay-per-views that have aired, not the special pay-per-views, the actual monthly pay-per-views have ended by like 7:45, 7:50. Like, it's not like, like I noticed that before. I was like, when they was on the when it was strictly on pay-per-view before the network, it was like they would run closer to 3 hours. But now I've seen them like cutting it 10, 15 minutes short almost every pay-per-view.
Yeah. I agree with you there. And they even have spots that take up time.
Yeah.
Like somebody will come out and, have a 5 to 10 minute, banter back and forth with a couple of different superstars.
A la Ronda Rousey bit from last year.
Yeah. When The Rock came out and all that was like, hey, we got to cut some time. It ain't quite dark yet, Yeah. We got to wait a little bit because, the Undertaker and Bray Wyatt's coming out and all that stuff. Plus the main event looks better at the end when it's completely dark and all the fireworks go off at the end. So yeah, I mean, but you got to think, this is in Dallas, so it's going to get darker just a little bit earlier there. So they won't, hopefully they won't have too many cut-ins to prolong the show. Hopefully we'll get a top action-packed show.
Well,
plus, they got 11 matches going on.
Well, the other plus to that is that for unlike the problem that they ran into last year in Santa Clara with that being an open air stadium and basically having to depend upon the actual sunlight to go away to create that darkness that you're trying to create. I believe AT&T Stadium is able to be closed, is a dome that's able to be closed, so they can actually control the lighting in there to create the effect that they want for like the Undertaker's entrance or anybody like that. They can create that desired effect just by messing with the lighting, which was an issue that they didn't necessarily have last year. Or an ability that they didn't necessarily have last year because Santa Clara is an open-air stadium. And, well, if the sun's up, the sun's fucking up. Like, there's not really anything you can do about it. Not like you can put in a call to God and say, hey, can you bring that down a little bit? We got a show we're trying to put on here.
Trust me, I know. I was in the sun.
Yeah, we were.
I didn't get the tickets on the east side. I got them on the west or the west side. I got it on the east side, so the sun was going down on the west side, and it was burning me up.
But that should definitely provide for, I won't say a better show, because last year's show was amazing. Like, not just because we were at it, but I just liked it. I thoroughly enjoyed the show. And I think that we will this year as well. Like, I saw a meme today that kind of made me laugh a little bit, because it's true. We go through this yearly. It showed the Kermit the Frog, sipping the tea, which I'm sorry, guys. I have to make this statement right now. That meme's getting old. Let's find something new, please. We've been using it for about a good 2-3 years now, and it was funny and all, and it still kind of got a little bit of but before it really gets just really old, just stop using it. But it was the Kermit sipping tea meme, but at the top it said, I just want to remind y'all that y'all thought last year's WrestleMania was going to suck too. It reminded me, we do go through that a lot of the years where people doubt the card, people feel like the card isn't going to turn out. And then after WrestleMania takes place, everybody's like, wow, that was awesome. This happened and this happened and this happened, which is why for this year, outside of my predictions, I'm going to reserve judgment about the show until after I've seen the show. So that way I can give you my true opinion, because right now, the card actually looks good. I'm actually excited about the bulk of the matches.
Well, see, that's the thing. We can predict how we think the show's going to go. Yeah. I think the show's going to go awesome.
Very true.
But then on the next episode, next Thursday, or even Monday, because we're having a special this Monday night right after Raw.
Yep. So be sure to tune in.
We can say, oh shit, my expectations was too high for this, or hey, oh shit, it exceeded the expectations that I had.
Yeah.
Expectations, not expectations.
Expectations.
I'm an expectation. Okay, I know what I'm talking about sometimes.
All right, Goldust.
hey, see, the dollars is like, you don't know shit.
If they could truly speak, huh? If they could truly speak. But yeah, no, it seems like
I got a little thing in my ear that
you got the babel fish.
And yeah. Fucking, I met Aquaman the other day. It was awesome.
Aquaman. Coolest guy, one of the coolest looking guys in BVS. That's another thing, guys. We will be doing a roundtable. Don't know if your boy Cole's going to be a part. He may or may not. Saturday afternoon, probably either pre or post Troll Gazer. We haven't quite decided when it's going to take place, but we know it will be taking place on Saturday, roundtable, and we will be discussing one of the most controversial superhero movies to come out in recent memory, Batman versus Superman. So be sure to tune in for that, because we will all have some very interesting things and different takes on that movie. So
as long as I can hotbox the studio while I'm down, I am down. And by the way, I created the logo for 4H's Presents Roundtable, just to throw that out there and toot my own horn and stuff. Yeah, I got an ego, so what? Fuck you.
Well, hell, if you really want to toot your horn, you've come up with the logos for 80% of the shows, at least the ones that I produce.
Yeah, well, I say 87%.
I'll go as high as 95. How about that?
All right, I'll take it. Even on the rejected logos that I've made.
Yeah.
Fuck you rejecting my shit.
There we go. All right, but
I got a hot box going on right now on camera. It's off the hook, man.
Oh,
I
man.
can put this weed out and keep getting high. But I'm gonna keep smoking.
I have not moved my studio to a location where I might partake while on air, but sooner than later I will have done such a thing.
See, that's the thing, man. I don't care where I'm at. I'm gonna fire up.
Oh man! But anyway, all right. So we definitely both think the card should be exciting. I'm looking forward to a lot of the matches. One thing that I did want to discuss as well, you know what, WWE, I'll say it like this. For the most part, you have a tendency to surprise me at some of the most random times with smart ideas. I've always thought that the pre-show, especially for your big four pay-per-views, should be on national television. And this year, for the first time ever, we're getting the WWE WrestleMania pre-show on USA. It's going to air starting at 3 o'clock, and pretty much all three pre-show matches are going to be on the episode. So I got to give props to WWE for finally doing something smart. Maybe a year or two later than you should have. I think they should have went to doing that as soon as it went to a 4-hour show. But congratulations. I'm definitely impressed with that.
Yeah, me too. I got to give Jabu my tiki a hit a week.
Yeah. All right, go for it. Yeah. But like that just truly impresses me, because to me that opens up the doors to the average wrestling fan. You know, somebody who may not necessarily tune in to WrestleMania itself might be willing to tune in to that USA pre-show for an hour. Well, let me see what this is about. And they get a couple of good matches, and they find out about what's going to be happening on the main card, and maybe you get a new subscriber or two or 3 to the WWE Network just based off of them watching that and deciding, you know what, I think I will watch WrestleMania. I may not. I could definitely see somebody sitting there and watching that and going, wow, I haven't watched a WrestleMania since I was like, since like I was like 10 years old. You know what? Let me go ahead and get this WWE Network for free over here and watch this. I could see somebody doing that.
Yeah, it's definitely a good promotion strategy. I mean, whether you get, 5 people or 5,000 people to go ahead and spend the $9.99 on the network and get WrestleMania for free, and then they get. I don't know if it's in the next month. I think it surpasses the next month for the next free pay-per-view. I know it's in 4 weeks, but actually, if you subscribe on the day of Mania, 4 weeks from then, you possibly could get a second pay-per-view for free. Yep. So I mean that's a good thing.
It highly makes me happy because like I said, I will be most likely tuning in to WrestleMania regardless. You know me, if I'm not at Mania, I set aside the day of Mania, and from the time I wake up, the fiance is barbecuing, we're hanging out, and we're gonna watch Mania. So like it's the WrestleMania. They joke and say WrestleMania is wrestling Super Bowl. Well, for wrestling fans, we treat WrestleMania pretty much just like the Super Bowl. You see fools that take the day off to watch the Super Bowl, regardless of what teams there are. There are people out there that do that. Trust me, they come into my job a lot. People that take the day off to watch the Super Bowl, knowing and they team didn't even make the playoffs, but they still taking the day off to watch the Super Bowl.
And see, I look at it as NXT as the Pro Bowl. Yeah. Before they changed the rule, the Pro Bowl being, without your best. Yeah. Because the best 2 teams was going to the Super Bowl. So NXT TakeOver Dallas is like the Pro Bowl of NXT. Yeah. It's the NXT roster of the Pro Bowl. That's the guys that didn't quite make it to the main roster, to the Super Bowl and Mania, going to go on there. And a couple of guys that's going to be at NXT TakeOver Dallas will be on the main roster. And Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn's got a match against the new Japanese talent. I can't think of his name right now. So
Shinsuke Nakamura.
As my audience and the listening audience, if you're paying attention, I've been getting high. And at this point, the weed has kicked in for sure.
Well, let me tell your video audience, his name is Shinsuke Nakamura.
There you go. There you go. I was for sure on Nakamura, yeah. But I wasn't for sure on the first part.
Well, since we were talking about TakeOver Dallas, I went on ahead and pulled up the match card, the 6-match card that's going to be taking place.
Right on. Give us a rundown of that card right there, because that card is awesome.
All right, boss. So, I don't know if this is necessarily the order of the matches, but these are the matches that will be taking place at TakeOver Dallas. You got Austin Aries making his NXT in-ring debut against Baron Corbin, the man who attacked him at his NXT debut. You have the Revival, Scott Dawson and Dash Wilder, defending their tag team titles after barely scraping by against Enzo and Amore, against American Alpha, Jason Jordan and Chad Gamble. You got Apollo Crews facing off against Elias Sampson. The aforementioned Sami Zayn facing off against Shinsuke Nakamura. You got Bayley defending the women's championship in what should be an amazing match against Asuka. And then you have Finn Balor facing off against who is still, despite the lack of handshake at last year's ROH show, still one of my favorite wrestlers of all time, Samoa Joe. And what I actually believe, with the rumors stating that Finn Balor may be on his way to the main roster, this should be Joe's moment to shine and win the NXT championship, but we shall see.
Yeah, we shall see. those rumors have been back and forth for months. When we mentioned the Samoa Joe rumor, if he's on his way to the main roster sooner than later, and at this point everybody was saying WrestleMania or the Monday night after WrestleMania, the Monday Night Raw after WrestleMania. And then we had the discussion of, well, if he wins the title, maybe he'll stay in NXT for a little while, you know.
Yeah.
So if that happens and Samoa Joe does that, I can't see Finn Balor dropping, you know, having to drop it and then moving on to the main roster. I can see that.
Yeah.
Because him and AJ Styles would be hitting it off for sure, you know, with their history at Bully Club. Now Samoa Joe, on the other hand, we also mentioned that Kevin Owens showed up on Raw on the main roster while he had the NXT World Heavyweight Championship. So anything is possible for both of these characters to show up on the main roster. Yeah. Even though we've heard it from both of their mouths that NXT is the place to be and they want to continue the fame and rocket ship basically that the NXT is. That brand has skyrocketed to space quickly and everybody's loving it there.
I wonder if they could eventually use a Samoa Joe and Finn Balor, because remember, these two guys are still they're still fairly young by wrestling standards. I believe Joe is barely pushing like 35, and Finn Balor is maybe, or both of them maybe early 30s, like 35, mid 30 at the latest. At the oldest. So I could see these guys working a schedule where they worked NXT and WWE for a good few months before, you know what I'm saying? Basically, like I said, a la Kevin Owens, you know, making appearances on NXT while continuing and feuding with Samoa Joe, while at the same time feuding with John Cena on the main roster over the U.S. title. You know, you could see Joe and Finn Balor doing something similar, where I could see Balor holding on to the belt and still making the jump to the main roster, but still going back and forth the same way Kevin Owens did. Samoa Joe, same thing. Because I think both those type of guys are the type of guys that are capable of working that schedule. Like if there had been an NXT back in the Attitude Era, Triple H, The Rock, these were guys that could have worked that type of schedule of doing shows at both places and still putting on good matches and good shows. I think that Balor and Joe are both guys that could pull that off. Like Zayn, like you said, Zayn's on the main roster. He's made his Raw debut, or Raw re-debut, so to speak, because he really made his Raw debut in that match with that U.S. title match with John Cena during the Open Challenge. But you know, he made his re-roster main debut and has a ladder match at WrestleMania and is still wrestling at NXT Dallas. You know, so it's one of those type of things where I could see it happening. I'll be honest with you, I wouldn't mind seeing it happen. Because WWE NXT is about to have an influx of talent with a lot of the guys that they've just, I just recently heard that they signed another one of the top indie tag teams out there. They have Nakamura coming in. Remember, what's his name that came in with Finn Balor, the Asian dude. My God, I forgot what his name was in NXT now. He still has to come back from injury. You know, and so the NXT roster. What's up?
Man, I had his name in my head, and you kept talking, and I grabbed my cigarette. And I was about to say his name, and it totally left my head.
Oh,
that's the problem with wrestling when you get an injury. When you're soon to be a part of the company, and you do a name change, because I had forgotten a lot of names. Until they come back and I'm like, who the hell is that? And then I hear the name. Yeah. And I'm like, oh yeah, I remember him, you know, he did this and all that. And that's the short memory span of a wrestling fan.
It is. It really is. Out of sight, out of mind applies big time in wrestling, especially when it comes to gimmicks and personas. If you are not on the screen and they are not putting you in front, you will forget them. Look, okay, I'll say it like this. Roman Reigns, as huge of an impact as he had, keep him off of WWE TV for the next year. And people will be, I can guarantee you, there will be over half the wrestling universe that'll be going, who was that dude that faced Triple H in the main event last year at WrestleMania? I can't remember his name right now. But if his music hits and you see him, like Cole just said, you're like, oh yeah, that's Roman Reigns. I remember now. Out of sight, out of mind. And Hideo Itami is the name of the guy we were looking for.
Hideo Itami. See, yeah. I knew that before. I knew. See, Hideo was in my mind, and I went to grab my cigarettes to listen to you finish out your little thing. It was only like 3 words, and in that time I had forgotten Hideo. But yeah, Hideo Itami, and he's supposed to come back soon.
Yep.
But yeah, man, there's a lot of talent NXT can push up, and even touching back on, what we started the show with the Divas. I mean, come on now, you got Bayley, you got Carmella, which Carmella should come up with Enzo Amore and Big Cass.
Yep.
That should be, trio type thing that they have been doing, that same, type of character and all that. I would like to see Carmella and Enzo Amore actually hook up and do that storyline.
Yeah, in a relationship and all that.
Because she's always saying nah, throwing up the hand and all that to him, and that's been one of the main little storylines within their goofy stuff and their hardcore stuff.
Yeah.
So I would like to see that come out of that situation. But Asana need to come up. I mean, you got all kind of motherfuckers that need to come up, man.
Yeah, Nia Jax. Dude, I can say this. I gotta say this though, real quick. Joe, brother, your name is a mouthful. Like not in any way trying to make jokes, but wow, Nufu'alu Seanoa. I'm sorry if I butchered it, but wow, that is a mouthful. That's Joe's true name, like his non-wrestling name.
Yeah.
Just wow. Okay, sorry. I was just reading through the NXT roster, and it shows all the actual names right next to their ring names. So yeah.
And I believe I could be mistaken. So all the listeners out there, if I'm mistaken, I will be posting this on YouTube on the Raw Impact Unleashed YouTube. And you can comment and say whatever, actually.
Say whatever fuck you want.
But yeah, that's the spot where I'm that the trolls and the actual smart marks, like we are, to comment on this. This isn't going to be the full episode, so if you want to listen to, the WrestleMania predictions, you got to tune in later on, and I'll mention that right before I cut off the video feed. So,
for sure. All right, guys. Then let's go ahead and close that out. Let Cole do his thing. We're gonna take a commercial break here on the radio side, and when we come back, we're gonna dig in to a little bit more of this NXT takeover and the state of NXT, and as well our WrestleMania predictions. So you're listening to the Raw Impact Unleashed.
On Spreaker.com, check out 4 Aces Present.
All right, folks. Now let me tell you a little bit about where 4 Aces stretches beyond just Spreaker.com and our radio shows here, the plethora of radio shows and different voices that you hear here. We also have our hands out there in the world of video blogs with the Raw Impact Unleashed, as well as Double K's Classroom blog, the West Coast Bias .blogspot.com is one of our first video blogs, as well as the Raw Impact Unleashed blog, .blogspot.com, which is another one of our video blogs, as well as our fan pages, which are updated almost every other day to every day for the Raw Impact Unleashed, Planet of Coal, Double K's Classroom, 4Aces Presents in general, and also Now vs. Then and Now vs. Then West. You can find Facebook fan pages for all your favorite 4Aces shows, as well as you can find us on YouTube now, where you can see the first 3 episodes of the 4Aces Presents web series, produced by one and only Saint, out there killing it, getting the killer interviews. So keep listening in. We get a couple of new episodes about every month to every other month. So it's a great watch. I've starred in a couple of the episodes. We have great bands and great artists, as well as great hosts from Crazy Chick Productions and Essie from Dirty Talk 101. So guys, keep checking us out. We're constantly expanding, and this world of 4Aces Presents is constantly getting better. Peace. What's up, world? This is Double K here from West Coast Bias, otherwise known as KDouble from the Raw Impact Unleashed as well. I'm here to tell you about the weekly lineup for 4Aces Presents here on Spreaker.com. Mondays, we have Now vs. Then at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. On Tuesdays, we have iRock Radio, 11:30 a.m. On Wednesdays, we have Now vs. Then West, coming on at 10 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, about 1 in the morning Eastern. On Fridays, we have Revolving Door episodes, or Revolving Door Fridays as we call it, as it's Double K's Classroom and Planet of Coal, giving you your weekly doses of entertainment value. Then on Saturdays, we have the Trollgazer Gaming Show, featuring James B. and Randy. You be sure to listen into them, because they'll be sure to make you laugh. And on Sundays, as usual, we have West Coast Bias, featuring the amazing one O'Malley, Mr. Suave himself, and Double K, and every now and then, the one and only Coach, The Duel. So be sure to keep listening in to 4Aces Presents right here on Spreaker.com. Peace. So I haven't unmuted us, but I'm muting us now. Hey guys, what's up? We're back. All right, so more Takeover Dallas. One thing that I'm super hyped to see, and actually I want to thank Cole for reminding me, because I believe this takes place on Friday night, does it not?
What is it?
Takeover Dallas.
Yeah, Takeover Dallas is tomorrow night. Tonight they had Stone Cold Steve Austin podcast with Mick Foley. I was watching it before the show came on, and it was kind of some interesting questions. I must say that it did repeat information that would already be known to a Mick Foley fan, but for all the younger viewers and all that, it was PG, so all the younger viewers can enjoy it. Minus a little violence with, they did the story of pulling his ear. Yeah. When he got his ear caught in the rope, they did do that story and talk about how he had a phone call with his wife and stuff. But other than that, it was pretty much, PG thing. They didn't show too much violence in it.
Well, it's Mick Foley, man. When it's Mick Foley, it's hardcore. When it's hardcore, like there's violence involved. If you don't like that, sorry about your damn luck, but that's just the way it is. It's,
Yeah, but they kept it PG, so they kept it, in the rating style. Plus, it's the network, so they didn't even have to do that.
yeah. But they want the kids to know, they want the kids to learn about themselves, about some Mick Foley, We were lucky enough in our younger years to be able to watch Mick Foley go to work, on television and sometimes live. I had a chance to see Mankind, Dude Love a couple of times live, get in the ring and wrestle. So, we've managed to, we got to see him live. This next generation doesn't necessarily know him, but let's introduce them to him. So and give him as soft as possible, because Mick Foley was into some hardcore shit. Texas death matches, those Japanese fucking death matches, man. Yeah, that man truly, like, he was one of the ones. Not to say every wrestler doesn't, because every wrestler puts their body on the line to entertain you. When they step in that ring, but Mick Foley gave, and he gave a lot.
Yeah, definitely, most definitely.
I think I may sit down and try to watch that as soon as we get done here on air, because I love me some Mick Foley. I just do. Always have, always will.
Yeah, it was a good podcast. And I'm pretty sure you can get Mick Foley's greatest or Mick Foley's bio movie like everybody else's. Because I had the DVD at one point, but I have no idea where it is right now. So I ended up watching it twice. So that's really what shows you the violence. Yeah. So what you should do is watch the DVD portion, or on WWE Network, watch that first, and then watch the Stone Cold podcast, and you would understand a lot more. And that's for the listeners that didn't live through all the chaos that was Mick Foley, Cactus Jack, and Dude Love.
Oh yeah, baby. Yeah, those were some good days, man. Those were definitely some good days. But without reminiscing too much, I was going to speak on Austin Aries, his debut. I'm actually truly excited for this. Like we've talked about another one, just like AJ Styles, just like Samoa Joe, just like who else? James Storm. This is another guy that we truly wanted to see in WWE. I believe shortly after, was it the AJ Styles signing that we said that we were like, okay, or was it the James Storm where we were just like, all right, guys, it's time to go in there and bring over Austin Aries. Time to bring over Double A.
I believe it was kind of in that transaction of where James Storm made his little debut, and then disappeared and went back to TNA.
Yeah, one off.
It was in between. It was in between that, that 2-month period or so. But yeah, I remember the post. It was like, "Did you hear this? Austin Aries signed with NXT and blah blah blah." And I was like, "Yeah, it was a good choice, and he's a great talent, but there's a lot of big guys in NXT." And not to take anything else away from Double A or KDouble, skills in the ring and all that, I think he will bring more tricks to the trade to get over. Yeah. You know, how you got so many of the little guys that got over on certain things, like, for instance, TJ, as they call him, Tyson Kidd. He was one that could get over on a big guy. And they do have, smaller guys. If Enzo Amore was to go on, just have a singles match, with Cass and Carmella outside the ring. Because Austin Aries came in kind of like, a mixed good guy.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of like his character isn't it's that gray area for him.
Yeah.
Like he became a face when he got beat down, on his first thing. He got his pop, he got beat down, he straight up face. Did an interview, which kind of led to the gray area a little bit.
Yeah.
And then he came out during the match on NXT this week. And see, that's that gray area type thing.
Yeah.
Like a face wouldn't just come out. Like a heel would come out, but a heel would do something. He didn't do anything. He just came out and made his presence felt. So it's kind of like the gray area for him, and I like the gray area for him. I think that gives him more, like I said, tricks of the trade to get over on anybody in the ring.
And I can see that. Like, and on that list, I think Neville, if given the proper chance to work with the proper big guy, is a guy that is a little guy that can get over on a big guy and make it believable. Of course, we all know one of the perennial ones that could do that was Daniel Bryan. We all know that. But yeah, I agree completely, man. Like, I don't know if they choose to put the strap around Seth Rollins again. I think we could see a guy like Austin Aries end up on the main roster and challenging for the world belt. Will he? I doubt it. No offense to Austin Aries, no offense to his in-ring talent. I just don't think that's the plan for Austin Aries in NXT. I think some of these guys they bring in just to kind of work with some of their younger guys and get them some experience in working in ring with some experienced wrestlers before they move them up. But I believe Austin Aries may, if he performs well at NXT, which he will, may end up at least seeing a small run on the main roster. But I would love to see. I know I would be one that would love to see a Seth Rollins versus an Austin Aries match for the world title. But after I saw a Seth Rollins versus AJ Styles match for the world title, shit, give me AJ Styles versus Austin Aries for the world title in a WWE ring. I've seen it enough times in a TNA ring.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he can work just about anywhere. I think I've seen him. Was it ROH that I seen him? I don't know if it was ROH or an independent show that was tied online, like an iPay-per-view. But I mean, he can go in any ring. I mean, he did boycott the six-sided ring because he says the fans don't deserve, the right to vote on the well-being of a professional wrestler that they don't know anything about the ring. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But excuse me. But overall, I believe he'll do well in NXT and move up to the main roster very quickly. Especially having Neville up there, Zack Ryder has popped up there. So as he's saying, those are guys he can work with. He can work with all the hashtag trending now social outcast. So yeah, I mean, look at Daniel Bryan, same size, same type of athletic, ability. Anything is possible. You can never say never in WWE or in wrestling. Period.
Yeah, I was gonna say all it takes is the fans getting behind you, and the brass actually recognizing it. Like that's all it really takes, and even a little guy can vault his way to the top. You know, I really, really do enjoy what a lot of the guys, and I think it's funny to me because I want to say this like this because I don't want to sound horrible, but I think Triple H, to an extent, making NXT a better product than WWE is a good thing because it gets people excited about the future of the WWE. It gets people excited about where the WWE will be in 5 years. You know, after the Attitude Era, a lot of the WWE universe was really lost. Like, what are we going to see? We've seen all this great wrestling, all these great storylines, all these great wrestlers go head-to-head for, like, the past decade. Where are they going to go from here? And it just seemed that everything they offered us was kind of downhill. But the invention of NXT, not necessarily the first couple of rounds of NXT, when it was that geeky little show that came on Tuesday nights with the friggin' contest and the reality TV show, you know, little push the barrel shit that they had going on when Daniel Bryan and Skip Sheffield and all them were first on there. But NXT as it stands now, what it's been over the past like 3 years, or I'd say probably 3 to 5 years is pretty much about as far as NXT has been, as long as NXT has been like this. And it gives me hope for the future. I watch an episode of NXT, and I can envision a lot of these guys making the main roster. And I don't necessarily envision all of them making a huge impact, but I could see that what the WWE is missing right now is a lot of role players. That's what it had during the night, pardon my sports term, but role players. People who just were happy to be mid-carders. People were not happy because they felt lucky to be a mid-carder, but they were just happy to work a program. They were happy to wrestle a match. They didn't give a fuck who it was against. They didn't give a fuck who they were in the ring with, when they were in the ring with them, or what the storyline was. They were just happy to work a match. And I just think the WWE main roster is kind of missing that, but I see a lot of guys in NXT who over the next few years can fill that gap. And be that filler to really round out the main roster and give us something that not only is worth watching, but that makes us want to come back and watch every week.
Yeah, definitely.
So NXT definitely shines right now, and I think it's a great thing for the business as a whole, because a lot of people go, oh well, NXT has a better product than what the WWE main roster is doing. That's a good thing, people. That's a very good thing, because eventually those people that are putting on those amazing matches on the NXT roster will eventually find their way to the main roster.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, but NXT in its own entity, man, I just love the feel of it.
Yeah.
I love that it's more compact, more independent, you know, seating type thing. Unlike TNA. I mean, TNA has the same situation, but TNA ain't never went to New York and sold out anything.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? NXT did. It's great talent on top of a great production, but with a independent feel to it.
Yeah, big time. It's like that. I hate to say it like this, but it's one. Despite the fact it's new to the business, outside of I've only seen one other one, and mind you, I haven't seen a whole crap load of independent shows. My independent shows are pretty much limited to the one ROH show I've been to, the few APW shows I've been to, and the few BTW shows I've been to. But BTW, APW, NXT, ROH, they all put on excellent, high quality, high production shows. And to me, the thing that's partially amazing about that is the only one with a multi-million-dollar backer is NXT. You know, that says a lot about all of the rest of them in the fact that they're able to put on that high quality of a production without millions of dollars backing them up.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you do have the money train behind you.
Yeah.
With NXT, that's a given. So I mean, it's going to be a little bit better production than all the other companies. But I mean, TNA used to have great production until they went to pop. Now they look like 1980s widescreen fucking setup.
Big time.
So come on, man. Let's get off the indies and fucking NXT and move on to what's important this weekend. Mania, baby, Mania.
You talking about that small little show that's going to be taking place out there at AT&T Stadium in Dallas? That tiny little thing.
It's been the only Super Bowl played there since I don't know, 20 years ago.
Oh, Lord knows it might be another 20 years if Jerry Jones don't get his act together. But anyway, we don't talk sports here. We talk wrestling, so let's talk wrestling.
We talk sports entertainment, not that word that starts with that.
Yes. Oh, all right. So the pre-show matches are listed to be, and this is once again the card can always change up to the very minute that the show is taking place. The pre-show is Kalisto and Ryback for the U.S. title, the Total Divas versus Bad and Blonde, and the Usos in the Dudleys. So let's start with that Kalisto and Ryback match.
Kalisto is going to get the upper hand, but Ryback's going to squash the little man.
You think so?
I think that's what's going to happen, man.
I can be.
And
go ahead.
You can hold it to me if you want, man. You can even comment down below, but I don't care, man.
Well, okay, let me
definitely.
How long has Kalisto held the U.S. title? When did he officially get it? Because I know he won it and lost it.
2 months ago. I wouldn't say more than that.
So no more than 60 days. It could possibly
be much less than that.
Okay. All right. I think that the sudden change to Ryback's wardrobe, the sudden change in Ryback's attitude, without necessarily becoming a bad guy, he kind of became the bad guy. I see him getting I see this as him getting a push. And I would think that being that he's won the Intercontinental Championship, he's challenged for the WWE title before, but has only won the IC title. I think it's his time to have a run, possibly from now till SummerSlam with the U.S. title. So I can see Ryback walking out of it. Now, the only thing that makes me skeptical of my own opinion is the fact of if this is truly the order and the Kalisto Ryback match opens the pay-per-view or opens the pre-show, I think that's more of a sign of that Kalisto is going to retain than Ryback. Because normally, I don't say that this is completely true, but normally those titles don't change hands in that first match. Now, once again, not correcting myself, but showing where I can be proved wrong. Last year, the Usos, if I remember correctly, the Usos took the titles from whoever were the current champions in a fatal four-way tag team match on the pre-show.
Yeah. I remember that. It was not too long before Mania last year, right?
Yeah, like it was matter of fact, we watched the match on the phone in the car on the way to the stadium. Let's see. No, sorry. Cesaro and Kidd won the titles last year at WrestleMania in the pre-show match. I don't know if they retained. I don't know if they came in title holders and yeah, no, they retained. So I was wrong. Or I was right and wrong at the same time. Tyson Kidd and Cesaro retained the titles. That was the middle of their run. I remember that we were hoping that the Usos would win it because they had been feuding with them for the past couple of months.
But it was still a pre-show title change.
No, there was no title change. It's like Kid and Cesaro came in with the titles.
There was a pre-show title match.
Yeah, there was a pre-show title match, yes. Just like there will be this year. I'm assuming that the Kalisto Ryback will be the pre-show title match.
Okay, so that gets us back to the point that we were making. Right? The pre-show title match.
Right. So next up is the Total Divas versus Team Bad. I'm kind of lost on this one right now because of the fact that I'm not quite sure who really deserves to win this one. Like, I can't even use the 80-20 rule. So I'll let you take this one right now while I think about this.
Well, I think that the Divas should win. The Total Divas should win. But then again, I think that Eva Marie should screw them somehow.
Okay.
Because she's got so much heat in NXT, and then when she comes out, everybody boos her.
Yeah.
I think she should, do her own thing and, either, miss a tag or, drop away from the tag, something like that, or even interfere in the finish somehow. Like they get into an argument or whatever because Eva Marie's, just out for herself. Maybe she tags herself in a couple of times, some situation like that where it kind of gets stole from the Total Divas, and Bad and Blonde end up or Blonde and Bad, I don't know which way they go with it, ends up taking the win. But you still have tension from many of the women there.
Yeah. Heck yeah, and I can see that it definitely furthers. I always saw it as Eva Marie may possibly turn on the Total Divas by distracting Brie Bella, allowing Lana to hit that stupid damn Bella Buster that she's been hitting the past couple of weeks, and the face plant or the face whatever. I forgot what it's called, what that move's called, but you know what I'm talking about. And Lana's going to end up getting the pin because I ultimately, and I talk about this a lot if you ever listen to the show, about certain matches being a vehicle to just drive forward a particular storyline. Yeah. Particular, and I think that this is going to be there to drive forward the Brie Bella Lana storyline. Like, this match only exists to drive forward the Brie Bella Lana storyline.
Yeah, well, I heard a rumor that after Mania and maybe that Raw, that Brie Bella is retiring for professional wrestling. That's just an article I read. I'm not sure the source is correct or anything. I'm pulling your line from the last show.
Well, I don't know. Like, I know that I've heard that same rumor myself. I don't know. What's funny is that with her improvement in ring recently, I'm actually sad to see her go, but there's still that part of me from before her in-ring work got a lot better that wanted her to go, that still kind of wants her to go to make way for other divas from NXT to make their way up. And actually have a fair shot in this division, because we all know for a long time that this division has been all about the Bellas. And the only ones that could really take away from that Bella spotlight were AJ Lee and people like that. And they're now gone. Unfortunately, Paige wasn't able to sustain the popularity that she had enough to stand in the spotlight with the Bellas. And this division for many, many years recently has been all about the Bellas, and that's not a bad thing. But it'll be nice with the Bellas gone, if Nikki's out for good and so's Brie, to have them move along and see some other girls shine, get a chance to shine.
I gotta disagree with you with the comment that you made that Paige couldn't stand with the Nikki Bellas or the Bella twin.
Yeah.
I think Paige got put on the back burner basically.
Yeah.
Even though she's still on the stove and still on the show.
Yeah.
I think she got pushed back a little bit. I think she deserves a lot more than what she's been given the past few weeks.
Now that I can agree with 100%. Like, she definitely deserves a better push than what she's been given recently. But we'll see. Paige is in this match. Maybe she'll get a chance to shine. We shall definitely see. Next match, grudge match. The match that I'm actually looking forward to really looking forward to seeing. Uso versus Dudleys.
Uso crazy.
Oh yeah. And I think we're going to see some aggressive Usos, which I always like the Usos when they get aggressive and they get mad and they yeah. I always like them when they get like that. And in the past couple of weeks on Raw and SmackDown, they've been that. And so I can't wait to see this match because it's going to be an intense and fun match to watch, because I've always said that if there's anybody I think out of all the tag teams that we have, they're the one that I definitely think could hang with the Dudleys in a match as far as getting a high-intensity match. It's the Usos.
Yeah, man, I'm in total agreement with you. I mean, there's not a lot more I can add unless I repeat you. So,
well, I'll give my victory. I'll give my victory there. I hope and I predict that the Usos are going to get that victory.
Yeah, it would be kind of passing the torch. I mean, they come from the Wild Samoans and all that, and Umaga and Yokozuna, all these big guys that are made of destruction. I think if the Usos were to adopt the table in their personas. Not all the time like the Dudley Boys did, but every once in a while when they have, like a ladder match or something like that, they are the ones that grab tables in the future. So I do hope the Usos win and the Dudley Boys realize these kids is crazy. They'll do anything. Here's the table. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
something like that. Or it can be prolonged for a while. But at the end of it, I want the Usos, to kind of take over that wild, crazy, table jumping.
I would love to see that myself.
Yeah, like Sabu, the new Sabus.
That would be awesome. The wrestling world always needs a Sabu. Always. 2 Sabus, even better. All right. So the next big match that actually was a pre-show match but got moved to the main card recently was the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. 20-man battle royal to take place. So far, participants: Heath Slater, Curtis Axel, Adam Rose, Bo Dallas, Big Show, Kane, Tyler Breeze, Mark Henry, Jack Swagger, Fandango, Damian Sandow, Darren Young, Connor, Victor, Goldust, and R-Truth. Now, being that there is not a mention of Bray, Eric Rowan, or Braun Strowman, I'm assuming that they will be added later, being that they do not have a match on the current WrestleMania card.
I don't know, man. I think. Did you say something about the run-in? The Hip Hop Ambrose?
Yeah. Yeah, I was saying that, I was actually saying that I would assume that Bray Wyatt and the family, I know Luke Harper's out for a little bit. They last report I heard, he was injured and may miss WrestleMania. So yeah. I'm not including Luke in that, but that Bray, Eric Rowan and Braun Strowman may make an appearance in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, because there's not 20 wrestlers on the announced participants so far that I'm reading.
Yeah. Definitely. That I kind of jumped the gun on the Ambrose thing. I was actually looking something up on the internet while you were talking, so, and I'm very medicated, so I'm actually feeling good for a change. But yeah, I agree with you. They should show up just like last year, or at least at the Royal Rumble. Show up in that type of capacity. Who knows? Those guys could eliminate the Big Show, and Big Show not get his 2-year in a row win of the Andre the Giant Battle Royal.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's gonna be a few surprises.
Yeah.
That go on there and that. So
I'm assuming
we'll
probably see at least one. I was gonna say we'll probably see at least 1 or 2 NXT wrestlers make an appearance in that battle royal. With of course no hope of actually winning it, but we will probably see at least 1 or 2 NXT wrestlers make an appearance.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, and that could be since the NXT takeover is 2 nights before. You never know who might make their WWE main roster debut at WrestleMania.
Yeah, very true.
So there's surprises in store for all that. Yeah, I hope so. Anyway, I hope they bring up a couple other good ones. Hence,
go ahead.
Bray and Cass.
Oh, that would be pretty awesome. Okay. I would love to see them do just a one-off. Just come in the Battle Royal, put on a great match, and end up getting tossed out by the end, and just doing a one-off. Hell, I would enjoy that.
All right, well, move on to the next subject. I got a show interruption right quick.
All right. The next one would be the match that is the 4th in this series of matches between these 2 amazing wrestlers, and that's the AJ Styles one-on-one versus Chris Jericho match that I'm looking forward to. I expect AJ to come. Oh, actually, AJ's gotten the win, I believe, in all but one of their previous matches. So maybe this is where Jericho just kind of gets his last little win in before AJ finally moves on to somebody else. I don't know, but I know that AJ got the win in the first match. Jericho got the win in the second match. AJ got the win at the pay-per-view. So at this point, AJ's up 2-1. So this being the 4th match, are they going to leave it even, or are they going to have AJ just completely dominate and blow Chris Jericho out the water with a 3-1 series win, so to speak? It's all about time. It's all about where AJ is at, though. But I think that AJ's at that point where he's ready to go over Chris Jericho. But I also think this is going to be one of those type of things where we may see hints and tips towards that Bullet Club making a main roster debut with AJ Styles. I don't necessarily think it will happen at WrestleMania, but I think we may see the beginnings of it start at WrestleMania in this match against Chris Jericho.
I think AJ Styles is gonna take his ass all by himself.
Okay.
I don't think anybody else is gonna show up, as a distraction to Chris. Yeah. They've had too many distractions go back and forth this whole thing. Or you're right, and that's just been the theme of this storyline.
Yeah.
Which is kind of unique all the way around. If the finish is like a Finn Balor coming out, and possibly the other 2 guys, was it C.J. Anderson or C.A. Anderson?
Yeah.
And Gallows. And all they got to do is stand at the top of the ramp and that's a good enough distraction for, AJ Styles to be behind Jericho outside the ropes, and then Jericho turn around into it and get that forearm and get the loss, and then the guys come out and congratulate him, kind of something like that. So I can see that happening. But I think AJ Styles is going to get over regardless of a Bullet Club tease or nothing.
Well, okay. Where I was going with the Bullet Club part of it was more so of AJ Styles gets the clean win. You know what I'm saying? He picks up the win without the distraction. But just like Jericho has done over the past couple of weeks, playing that heel, he attacks him after the match. And then that brings out a Finn Balor or maybe a Luke Gallows to make the save. You know what I'm saying? Not necessarily debuting the Bullet Club, but showing that, hey, there's something coming and AJ Styles is no longer here alone. You see what I'm saying? Like, because the past, there's been a couple of beatdowns by Jericho in recent weeks of AJ Styles, like post-match. Post whether he had a match against Jericho or not, but post-match, there was a beatdown that took place at the hands of Chris Jericho or AJ Styles. So I'm thinking we could see the match come to a clean finish regardless of who wins, but Jericho attacks AJ Styles after the match, and that's where we see the Bullet Club part of it come into play.
All the scenarios that's been thrown out, I believe, could come true.
Yep. But I definitely see AJ Styles getting the win. I can agree. I can agree with you there. I think that he takes the win in this one.
Yeah, and that's crazy how all three scenarios, end up with the same finish.
with AJ Styles getting that win. Now, the WWE now for the second year in a row, the WWE is having a 7-man ladder match for the Intercontinental title.
Yeah.
And last year we saw Daniel Bryan take the title from Wade Barrett. He was the incumbent champion. So are we going to...
Hold up. Who'd you say that was in it first?
That's in the Intercontinental match. It's Owens.
Yeah.
Sami Zayn.
Yeah.
Dolph Ziggler. Yeah. Zack Ryder.
Yeah.
Sin Cara.
Yeah.
Miz. And Stardust.
Yeah. That's right.
So we got those 7 there. And like I said, last year we saw Wade Barrett drop the title to Daniel Bryan, who unfortunately only held it for a couple months before what effectively would end up being his last couple of matches in the WWE. Little did we know. And I don't know. I don't know if we see the title change hands 2 years in a row. Owens is a pretty strong Intercontinental champion. I just have a weird feeling that this is Sami Zayn's day. I don't know why. I don't see Sin Cara winning it. I don't see Zack Ryder winning it. Dolph Ziggler has held the title at least 2-3 times already. Miz has held it at least once or twice. Stardust has been, between his Cody Rhodes persona and Stardust, has held the title at least once or twice. So I just see this as being Sami Zayn's day. And the primary feud of this entire thing has been Zayn and Owens.
Yeah. That's a good conversation that we had last week.
Yeah.
I think Sami Zayn should take it, just for a good program between them two over the Intercontinental Championship. I love the Intercontinental Championship more than I love the WWE Heavyweight Championship at this point.
Wow. There you go, guys. Let's push that IC title. Like I said, I honestly think that the WWE should rotate which titles they main event. Not to say, because people think that it takes importance away from the WWE title by not having it main event like 80 to 90% of the pay-per-views throughout the year. I think when you don't get a WWE title match every single month, like I know I've bitched and complained in the opposite way, but as I get older and the more I think about it, it adds a little bit more prestige to the title when the WWE title isn't the main event and it's not being defended every single month. And then they also don't have as much pressure to have it change hands as often if it's not being defended every single month. Not necessarily once every 3 months, but every other month, and then the months in between, you focus and how do you say and push on the Divas title for one pay-per-view, the Intercontinental title for another, the U.S. title for another. The tag team titles are main events, of a pay-per-view every now and then. I just see it's just too much of the WWE title is being defended, but who's it against? But we know it's going to be defended every single pay-per-view. I think it adds a little bit more mystery and intrigue to it. If it's only every other month or so, I don't know. I don't know what the exact time frame would be, but just not every single month. But
yeah,
go
I mean, I like a fighting champion.
Yeah.
So not at like every pay-per-view it should happen, but we should get like Raw matches with the title.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, maybe once a month or so, and a pay-per-view once every 2 months. So I mean, it keeps it in the rotation.
100%.
And you can opposite their rotation with the U.S. belt, but and you can hold on to the World Heavyweight Championship belt for a couple of months for a good build-up. Mm-hmm. So you always got storylines, revolving around titles. Even the tag team titles and the Divas / hopefully Women's Championship the same way.
Yeah.
Of course, Night of Champions or something comes around, pretty much all the belts got to be on the line. So.
Right.
But other than that, yeah, give a little space in between each type of title run and title belt. I know it's WrestleMania, so a lot of titles are on the line.
Yeah.
On the line. Ooh, got the hiccups.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned the Diva hope to soon be the women's title. Charlotte, Becky Lynch, Sasha Banks. It's a hard choice. I just know I don't want to see Sasha walk out of WrestleMania, or not Sasha, Charlotte walk out of WrestleMania with that title. No offense to her, she's had her run. I believe she's had the belt for like a good 2-3 months at this point. So I think it's time to see Charlotte drop the belt. I don't care who it's to, Becky Lynch or Sasha Banks. I actually think Sasha Banks is the favorite, so I'll go with her as my pick. But I just don't know. I just hope that Charlotte doesn't walk out with it.
Man, Becky Lynch gonna win. Shut up.
All right, so Cole takes Becky Lynch. I take Sasha Banks. We got a 1 in 3 odds of winning.
Odds is 2-1. 2-1, man.
There you go. All right, man. So I think we already said a while back that we expect Ambrose to go over Lesnar.
I'm hoping Ambrose takes the win. So, I mean, it's still a 50-50 on that one. So, yeah. I hope the conclusion is Ambrose winning, but I wouldn't be disappointed if Brock won.
Depending on how he won. If it's a squash match, I'm not going to be happy with that because you've built Ambrose up too much to have that be a squat, to have Lesnar just squash him. So by far, if it has to be a good match, but yeah, you're right. I would not be surprised if Lesnar won, but I definitely want Ambrose to win, and I actually think he will, because I think there's a purpose of of launching him into that next superstar stratosphere with this match against Brock Lesnar. So I think giving him a win in that would help that along. We also have Triple H versus Roman Reigns, a match that I was reading an article that was actually making a case for Triple H to keep the belt, primarily because of the fact that Triple H is coming into this match with more push behind him than Roman Reigns, which brings me back to the point I made 6 weeks ago or so about how they need to have Roman Reigns finally turn on the fans and stop trying to push him as a face.
Well, I think Roman Reigns still has his momentum. As many beatdowns has gone around and him stalking, reminiscent of Stone Cold, stalking somebody in the parking lot, ripping them out their car, beating the hell out of them for a second. Taking Triple H, beating him around, taking Bubba Ray and beating him all crazy. I mean, he's fucking pissed off. And that's the character I see, a pissed off Roman Reigns. Finally, instead of trying to play a badass Roman Reigns, he's a pissed off Roman Reigns, and it works for me.
All right. So do you expect to see him walk out?
It's a 50-50 on this match too.
Yeah.
I hope he wins. I hope he wins the title, but then again, we said I said last week. I hope he wins, and I hope Shane McMahon wins.
Yeah.
That means Shane McMahon and the authority's gone, and Shane McMahon has the guy he wants at the top.
Right.
For the time being, as storyline wise.
Right.
But if Shane McMahon wins and Roman wins, Shane McMahon can be like, "You're not the face of my company," and be like, whoever steps up, maybe a Dean Ambrose, maybe somebody else. So many situations can come out of it. But since I did read the financial report, that Shane McMahon isn't getting paid past WrestleMania week, I should say, WrestleMania week, because I consider the Raw after WrestleMania week. I really can't, it's a 50-50 on that one. And it's a 50-50 on the Roman Reigns thing, too, even though he has shown a lot of aggression.
And see, I actually do see both of them winning. Here's the deal with Shane McMahon. I think Shane McMahon will gain control, and I know he's not being paid past WrestleMania, but that doesn't mean that he's not necessarily open to making appearances. And I think what we may see is that Shane won't be back that Monday Night Raw. Shane will win. Shane won't be there that Monday Night Raw, but we'll be introduced to a new Raw GM. Not the GM with the damn laptop and the dooloot. Fuck that shit. But an actual physical person as a GM to represent Shane. And then Shane will make like once every 6 months appearances, where he won't necessarily be the face of Monday Night Raw, but he'll be the controlling interest, and whoever they have as his acting GM will be basically the Shane representative for Raw. And so like I could see him going with that direction, and that allows Shane to get the win. The authority still goes away, but Shane McMahon doesn't necessarily have to be there after WrestleMania.
Right.
Yeah, go ahead.
That's the thing, man. If he wins, I want to see him on the Raw constantly.
Yeah, I would want to. I definitely would want to see him. I want to see Shane. Like I said, I want to see Shane back, whether it be in a GM authority type figure or whatever. I want to see Shane back on WWE TV on a regular basis again. I do as well, but unfortunately, like you said, you read the thing. They say he may not be being paid after WrestleMania, or he's not being paid after WrestleMania, so that kind of doesn't bode well, But if he loses, then what was all this for? Like I've thought about that multiple times. Like if Shane McMahon loses this match, what the hell was all this for? What the hell was bringing him back for? What's the end game? Because things
ratings boost.
Yeah, but then you lose those ratings immediately after if you lose Shane. The people who tuned in for Shane, as soon as Shane is gone, will tune out.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. So
Yes.
I mean, all's well ends well with Shane. Like I said, the numbers that I seen
Yeah.
on payroll was a quarterly thing, and I mean, this is the third month of
Quarter,
going
yeah.
on the fourth month of the year. So this is the quarter time of payroll coming out. So it might be only up till the end of that quarter, and the new quarter starts
Right.
April 1st. So
Shane
tomorrow.
might,
So
yeah, we haven't seen that report, so
he
Shane might be on that report, and we just don't know it.
exactly.
Yeah, I feel you. But I think that's it, Cole. Oh no, wait a minute. One more match. The Unicorny Bootios versus the Russian, the Irish, the Mexican, and the English dude.
Yeah, I got to go with the Bootios.
Yeah, I think they're really hot. I don't know what it was about Brooklyn. Brooklyn loved them some New Day on Monday.
Yeah, they did. And I was wondering why, because we just had the conversation about it just didn't feel right with them being the good guys after a couple of weeks ago they got the beat down from League of Nations.
Yeah.
So I mean, the field came back. It was like, all right, people are really into these guys, and them messing around with the trumpet going and Albert Del Rio, that was hilarious.
Oh man. And hey, I ain't gonna lie, that Big E rap was hilarious. I can't remember the specific words, but I know at the end of it he had me dying.
If you can call it a rap, it was slow enough to be a poem.
True enough. And actually, Cole, you know what? I'm actually glad you said that since we're almost done with the show. Being that April will be National Poetry Month, we will be having one of our special hosts. I believe it's Miss Lyric. She will be Lyrical Toy. She will be doing 30 different poets on 30 different nights to celebrate National Poetry Month in April, and we also have something that'll debut tomorrow night on the first ever live Double K's Classroom here on Spreaker.com, as I will be debuting something in regards to autism awareness on Saturday, and Autism Awareness Day in April being Autism Awareness Month. So be sure to listen in for that. Just thought I'd throw that in there since we were talking about poems. But yeah, I just see New Day getting over in this match. I don't know why.
Well, hold on. Since you throwing stuff in, I'm gonna throw stuff in.
Throw in some stuff, brother.
The 30 poets in 30 days that's going down. I created that logo, and then the host of the show revamped it a little bit. So it was a collaboration logo for it.
And you can find that over at the Four Aces Presents Facebook page. Let you know when it's going to start. I believe it actually does start tomorrow night. There'll be 30 half-hour shows. So
there you go.
But that's that.
But yeah, New Day takes the titles. What they do? Eat your bootios. Because if you don't, you booty.
Well, you know they changed the match. It's no longer for the titles. It's now a 3-on-4 handicap match.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, they took the titles out of it, which really depresses me. I don't like that. I like I said, this is WrestleMania. All titles should be defended, just like at Night of Champions. But yeah, they removed the tag team title match from it and just made it a plain 4-on-3 handicap match.
It'll still be interesting.
Yeah, it will be. It definitely will be. So, all right, guys. I don't think there's anything more for us to go over other than to tell you make sure to watch WrestleMania starting Sunday at 3 on USA and then jumping over at 4 to the WWE Network. I know I'll be sitting with my barbecue and mashed potatoes and hot dog and hamburger and all that stuff in front of my TV and watching it. I don't know what you're going to be doing when you're in front of yours. And Cole, as always, you are more than welcome, brother.
Yeah, man, I don't think it's going to happen, but I'm definitely going to be watching at the same time you are.
There you go. There you go. And I hope all of y'all out there listening are going to be watching too, because WrestleMania should be a damn good show this year. I'll say that to end the show. Guy, how are we bringing this home, Cole?
Man, I think the lights should go out like at that Super Bowl you don't like to talk about.
Okay, I'm following you.
And just end the show on a no contest, which I still get to keep the belt.
All right. 3. What the fuck happened to the lights, man? What the?
Man, I don't know. I can't see.
Man.
Hold my hand.
Man.
Hold my hand.
All right, man. We ain't in preschool. Y'all, we'll see y'all next week when we get our. Go ahead.
I got to hold your hand to walk towards the ropes. When I get to the ropes, I know where I'm at.
All right. Well, guys, while we go get this technical difficulty fixed with the guys in back, y'all have a great night. We'll see you next week where we'll be covering the other side of WrestleMania and telling you exactly how crappy of a show we think it is. No, exactly how good of a show and how good of a time we had watching it. I'm KDouble. That's your boy Cole. No, fuck y'all. That's my boy Cole. All right? When y'all get to know him, he can be your boy Cole. That's my boy Cole. And this is the Raw Impact Unleashed. We'll see y'all next week. Peace.
Take it easy.